What's up, young kings? I just want to make a video real quick about how I enrolled the newest person into the business. And so, first of all, after someone has bought an affiliate pack or a 2-pack pursuing the business, the opportunity that we are all pursuing, the first thing I do is I sit down with them and I figure out, okay, when can we train you in the next 24 to 48 hours, right? And then from there, once we've set up that time, right, I explain to them that they need to be trained before they even try to go explain this to anyone else. And so I tell them to just focus on, getting ready for the training and focus on meeting up with me at that time and not really trying to share this with people before they get trained. I tell them that they're not officially in the business until they get trained, and you should know that as well. Right? The next thing I do between, that time I set up with them and the actual training, I plug them into the Facebook groups, the Young Kings and the Young Pros, our organization, and then, Luke Hessler's organization down, our entire family that's worldwide, right? So those two Facebook groups, I get them plugged in with, and then I give them a shout out for getting started, however they get however they got started. Whether it's an affiliate pack, a 2-pack, I explain some of their dreams and goals, maybe something about when I met them, I post a picture of them. I give them a shout out for getting started because honestly, we have so many people that see what we do, they have a lot of inspired thought, but they never actually take the action, take the risk to pursue their dreams and goals. So your people deserve a shout out, and they definitely need to get plugged into the Facebook groups. Once again, the Young Kings and the Young Pros Facebook groups. And then we've set up that training. Well, now it's time for us to meet up for the training. And this is when I go over the hot market system with my newest person to help them see success and share the product, lead with the product like the roadmap talks about, in the most effective way possible, right? Now here's the thing. You're a leader, right? I'm a leader. So what do? I come prepared. When I go to a hot market, system training, I bring, first of all, my fast start sheet, the hot market system fast start sheet, everything they need to go through, right? The customer script, and then a product brochure for them to use as they're looking and calling, looking through it. They can call their people and actually know what they're talking about when it comes to the product. So I always come with a fast start training sheet, a customer script, and a brochure. And these two things can be found on this page in the Files tab. You can print them out yourself, download them so they're on your laptop, on your phone, whatever it needs to be, so you can constantly have these materials ready for your newest person. The next thing I do is, obviously the hot market system, the goal is for them to talk to 30 people in 3 days, basically 10 people a day. So every day I make sure that I'm checking in and reviewing how their calls went. Who did they talk to? How did it go? Oh, they said no. Why was that? Oh, they said yes. Why was that? What'd you do? Good. And I do that for 2 reasons, right? The first reason is I want to keep them accountable, right? When a person is new, they need direction just like an employee. Right? They still have that mindset. And so give them direction, keep them accountable, and second of all, I encourage them. If they're doing great, awesome. If they're not doing as well, I help them improve and show them that, hey, every no is one step closer to a yes, right? So accountability and encouragement is why we check in and review with them every single day. And then about on day 2, once they've talked to their first 20 people using the hot market system, I sit down with them and I set up, okay, when are we gonna do this strategy session? Hopefully, meet up in person, but if not, on FaceTime or on Uvu or Google Hangouts, whatever it might be. But when are we going to do your strategy session so that you can learn the rest of the business and start duplicating what we've done with you, right? And we set up that time, and I let them know that by the time we meet up for the strategy session, they need to do 3 things. The first thing is they need to watch the success plan training video with ambassador leader Luke Hessler, which is on the Young Kings YouTube page. You could also probably look up success plan training Luke Hessler, and it'll come up. It's a 30-minute video, and they need to take notes on that, right? The second thing they need to make sure that they've done before we meet up and do the strategy session is they've downloaded the roadmap document that's in the Files tab, and they've filled it out, especially step 1, which is the Dreaming Big Dreams exercise, right? Life as they want it to be. So they've already have that done by the time we meet up for the strategy session. And the next thing is that they have a notebook so that they can start taking notes on videos like these and start building their list, writing down their why, all the essential things that we're doing all the time once you get into the flow of doing this business. And then, from there, basically what I do is obviously we meet up for the strategy session after their 3rd day, hopefully within like 24 hours of them completing this hot market system, and we do the strategy session. Again, I come prepared. This time I bring the roadmap strategy session guide Now, this isn't a different system than Tom McCaslin's system. This is simply a guide for all of us to use so that we're all training in not only an effective way, but also a consistent and similar way, right? And it all comes from how Jamie Chira went through the roadmap strategy session with myself. And that's where that guide comes from, right? So I bring that for them, and that really lays down exactly how to and what to go over during that strategy session, right? And we do that whole thing. And again, just like with the hot market system, there's no shortcuts, right? I don't skip something. I don't say, okay, well, you got to build 25 people onto your list, do that later. I sit there and I do it with them, right? The biggest thing about this is that, and I'll talk about this again, this is the point of these trainings are to build a relationship with your newest person. Sometimes you might not know them the best. Maybe you have known them for years, but you don't know them in this sense, the sense of their dreams and goals and where they want to take this business. And so it's super essential that you just use this time to spend time with them. Invest time. They've taken a step. They've done the hot market system. They've taken a step. They've watched these videos. It's time for us as leaders to take a step, and that's what I do. The next thing, obviously during that strategy session, what the three big things I do is, first of all, I start off with congrats on finishing the hot market system. Whether they got a ton of customers or they got zero, the whole thing is that goals are for growing and not for getting. And the experience they learn by going through that and the action they take by going through that is really what the purpose of the hot market system is, right? And then, the whole time, basically the whole strategy session is just conversations and practicing this essential skills so they get they master the essential enrolling skills and what it takes to be successful in this business, right? And then the major purpose of the strategy session is this: strategize for the top 10 people that they had identified when they built their list, right? And I sit down with them and I have a conversation about their top 10 people. Tell me about them. Why would they be good at this business? Why do they need to do what we're doing? Why would you want to work with them? And then what we do is we strategize on how they're going to get them in front of credible people, credible upline leaders that are making money and have seen success in the next 7 days. And what I tell them is, if you can do that, if you can have 10 quality, full exposures, meaning they've been educated on the whole process and they've met someone who's making an income, with 10 quality people, at least you're going to get 2 people to get started, and those people will be absolute killers and absolute amazing partners for you in your business. That's what I explained to them. And then from there, after the strategy session, obviously they're starting to go, but the work's not done. And this whole process is just the beginning. I mean, when you enroll someone in this business, you are their guide, and you guys are running partners together to help them see success in this business and help them help others do the same. And so this is just the tip of the iceberg. But the next thing I do is I tag them on that pinned post on the Young Kings Facebook page so they know all the information that every new person should have, right? And then what I do is I pull them using their why, right? I pull them. I don't push them to do this thing. I pull them through the success system, right? Which is, again, on the pinned post. And then I encourage them to start investing some time into skill and leadership development, right? I don't have them read any books, nothing like that. It's just a couple simple things that they're listening to or looking at on the pinned post. And you can check that all up on that pinned post, but that's what I encourage them to do that, and I pull them through the success system. And the last thing I do is I act as a bridge. I show them that I basically am a bridge between the person I enrolled and my upline and my mentors, and I get them connected so that when I'm busy, they know that they have someone else that's there that's going to help them be successful, that's going to help them do a call, do a training, give them advice, give them encouragement, whatever it is, so it's not all on me, and that way our business can continue to duplicate together and there's no pressure. And so that is how I enroll. It's not all about what you do, but also how you do it, your attitudes. And so the biggest thing when you're enrolling someone, when you have a new person, you gotta be their confidence, man. You gotta be, that guiding light and know where they're going, maybe even before they know it. Believe in them before they believe in themselves, and eventually they will. And so be that confidence, be their confidence that they can depend on as they're trying to get started in this business, and show them what's possible in their first 30, 60, and 90 days, and they'll never look back. They really will never look back if you invest that time and show them that you care, right? And the other big thing, the other 2 big things is, I'm looking at my notes, you caught me, second thing is recognition. When you're an enroller or a mentor, recognize your people for every little good thing that they do. catch people when they're being good and let them know that you saw them being good and give them that recognition, whether it's a shout out or, buying them a drink or bringing them an extra verb. I mean, that's the equivalent of, buying them a drink, whatever it might be, and keep encouraging them. Find small ways of recognition. Jim Rohn says the company provides the big recognition, you provide the small recognition. Develop a top five enrollers, top five customer acquires, top five, rank advancers, top five people who are cycling, whatever it might be. Find some ways, some creative ways to recognize the people in your group, and you'll see so much success from that, and encourage them. And then the last thing is obviously you got to make sure you're always plugging them in. I'm always plugging my people in from the beginning on Facebook groups. Maybe it's a group text in our area, or the kind of person that they are. I connect them with other people that are similar to them, or I'm plugging them in with calls that I'm seeing on the Young Pros page, or trainings that we're doing as a group. Whatever it is, I'm always plugging in my people. What I always try to do is treat my newest person like my phone, right? If I don't plug in my phone every day, it dies, right? Same thing will happen with our newest people if we're not constantly plugging them in. We follow up with people to get them in the business, but then we also have to follow up with them to keep them in the business and help them reach those goals, dreams, and aspirations that they have for themselves and for the other people in their lives, guys. So this is how I enroll. You can pause this video, go back, take some notes, pause it and write down sort of some of these bullet points. But I hope this helps. I hope this gives you value so you can duplicate better in your business. And I wish all of you the best success. And just remember, if you first become great and then you teach great, you'll live great. Much love, guys. Let's go create some winners. Peace.